Hello everyone. In this video, I will be creating a game using online Scratch. Hopefully, this will help you while creating your own game. I will be using as many blocks as possible, and I will be uploading this video on YouTube, and I will be sending you the link so you can watch it as many times as you want. I will start by going to scratch.mit.edu. And I will go to create. As I told you previously, you can find many tutorials that can help you to create the game. So I will just close this, and if you want them, you can go back to this button, tutorials, and it will open some videos and tips that will help you. Anyways, let's get started with the game. It's an example, of course, but in this example, you will find the blocks that can help you to create the game. My game will be about a couple of fish in the sea, underwater, where they will be asking each other math questions. So to start with, I will delete my cat sprite because I don't need it, and I will add a sprite using the library, and the sprites provided to me by Scratch Online. So I will click here and I will look for fish. I will use this one. Okay, so the next thing that I can be doing is adding a backdrop. I will look for something underwater. I will use the first one. Okay, so far so good. Awesome. I will start, of course, with events, and I will drag when flag clicked. After that, maybe I can go to looks and drag say hello for specific seconds. I will be saying hello everyone, welcome to this awesome game. And of course, because it's a long sentence, I can change the seconds and make them 4 seconds. Then I will be adding, I need help in math, and my friend Willie can help me. This gives me an indication that I need to add another sprite. So simply, if I want to add another sprite, I will go again to choose sprite. I will go to fish, click on it again. Now I know that these two identical fishes, but however, I can go to costumes and I can pick another color or shape of my fish. Let's say I will use this blue one. Now, in order for me to face these two fishes together, I can click on the fish itself, and I can click on flip horizontal. Oh, sorry. I can go to flip horizontal this way. Okay, now I can go back to coding. To make this game looking a bit more realistic, I need this second fish that I named Willie to come swimming once this first fish says that she needs help. So I will start with, of course, events, when flag clicked. Now I can go to motion. Okay, I want this fish to start at a specific point. So when I want something, or I want the sprite to start at a specific point, I need to use the XY coordinates. If you look here at go to XY, you can find that whenever I change my sprite, the numbers will change as well. So I will drag the fish to the point where I want it to start, let's say here, okay? And I will drag, go to X, Y. This gives me an indication that it will start from this point. The second thing, that I don't want this fish, the blue one, to appear until the orange one announces that she needs help from Willy. So I will go back to the orange fish, and if you remember, there is something in the events called broadcast message. Broadcast message, it means that once I announce this message or once I release this message, the other sprite receiving it will do a certain action in terms of appearing, moving, or saying something. So I will drag broadcast and I will put it before I need help in math and my friend Willy can help me. Okay, it means that this message is message 1 and I need you to broadcast this message. So I will go to fish 2 and I will say when I receive message 1, I want it to glide and to move to the orange fish. So I will go back to motion and I will use the glide specific seconds to XY. Now, to activate this block, all what I need to do is to drag my sprite to a specific location where I want it to be, and accordingly, these numbers will change. So if I drag this here, let's try and see what will happen if I press play. Up until the orange fish said this sentence, the yellow fish moved. However, I can add wait 1 second before it glides just to make it, or 2 seconds actually, just to make it more realistic. Also, one more thing I can add is at the beginning of the game, whenever this orange fish is appearing, I don't want to see the blue fish. In this case, I will go to looks and I will add hide when flag clicked, and I will add show to when I receive message. It means that at the beginning of the game, when flag clicked, I won't be able to see the blue fish. However, when the blue fish receives message 1, it will show and glide. If we press play again, as you can see, it's hidden and then it will appear and then start moving. Okay, now in your own game, you can play around with the seconds and when you want it to appear or disappear according to the sprite and the story of your game. Now I can move on, and fish 2 will say, hello, oh hi there, what did you say about math? Sorry, what did you say about help in math? I can do it. And of course, I will change the seconds to, let's say, 6 seconds. And then I will say, but let's go somewhere else to study. This gives me an indication that there will be switching in backdrops. Now, you know how to add a backdrop using the backdrops provided to you by Scratch Online. However, let me show you how you can add something online. If I go to Google and I write down underwater cartoon and enter and go to images, make sure to pick an image without a watermark just to make it more realistic, the game, or more beautiful. Let's pick, and make sure also that the image that you choose is large enough. So in tools, the size, let's go to large, and let's pick this one. So right click, save image as, save it on your desktop or documents, whatever you want to save it. I will go to the desktop and call it use 1. I will go back to the Scratch Online. From backdrops, I will choose upload a backdrop. When I press on it, I will go to the destination where I have saved my image and I will double click on it. It's importing, and this is the image. If you have noticed that your image is a bit smaller than the canvas itself or the stage itself, what you can do is just select, sorry, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, select the image and just maybe stretch it a little bit and convert to vector. Okay, so let's go back to our fishes here and go back to coding. So when this bluefish says that, but let's go somewhere else to study, it means that it will switch the backdrop. I will go to looks and I will choose switch backdrop to use one, which is the name of the backdrop I have used. But as I have taught you, since you have many backdrops, you have to let Scratch know which one is the original one that you need to start with. So at the beginning of the coding, when flag clicked, you have to go to switch backdrop and choose underwater one, just to let Scratch know that this is the original backdrop, and then it will be switched to use one. Now this coding is on the blue fish. I will go to the orange one and I need to let it know that there has been switching in backdrops. So I will go to I will go to events and I will go drag when backdrop switches to use one. Let's say I want it to say, oh, that is a good place to study. Okay, let me see how it's working out for us so far in the game by pressing play. As I told you, you can play around with the timing. Okay, as you can see, we have a problem here that our second image, it's not placed directly in the middle of the screen. So I will go to backdrops, and as you can see, it's not centered. Okay, I can just drag it and it can be like this. However, I have just noticed that this backdrop contains a watermark, so please, when you pick one, make sure that it does not contain a watermark, just like I have mentioned earlier. So again, let's go to convert, and here we go. Okay, now let's move quickly to how you can add questions. Okay, I will go to the bluefish and I will add wait 2 seconds so the orange fish can finish saying, oh, this is a good place to study. And then I will say, let's start. Okay, now this is the fun part where we can add our questions. To add questions, we can go to sensing, ask. Let's say our question is, what is 5 times 5? And please make sure that the questions that you will be adding to your educational game is relatable and related to the material that you are actually taking in math or science or whatever subject that you have picked. So after ask, what is 5 times 5? I need to go to control and drag and drop if then else. It means that if the player gave me the specific answer, then say good job, else say hard luck or try again. In this empty block, we will go to operators. We will pick this one, which is equals. So if answer, and I can find the block to fill it here in sensing. If answer equals 25, that means that if the player answers 25, say great, sorry, say good job, good job. Else, if the player said anything else, answered 24, 26, 27, 30, or any other answer, any other number, it will say hard luck or oh no. One more thing that can be added to this code is sounds. I can add sound of clapping, let's say. I can go here and let's search for clapping. Okay, let's go back to coding and go to sounds and play sound clapping. Okay, good. So this is an example of how can you ask questions. If you want to just duplicate this block without actually repeating it, you can right click on ask, duplicate, and just drag it. So you can ask a couple of questions directly back to back. One more thing that can be added is score. So to add score, you can simply go to events, when flag clicked, and then go to variables. Variables, you have to create a variable. Let's call it score. And at the beginning of the game, of course, the score needs to be 0 because we haven't played yet, so it needs to be 0. And then whenever the player answers correctly, which is here, I need to change score by 1. It means that the score will be adding 1 point at a time. No need to add time because it's an educational game. So what if your colleague needs more time to think or to work out the math problem? So please do not add timing to your game. I believe that these blocks that I have explained just like help you to create a good game. Anything else that you need, you can just simply look it up. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Google, and of course you can ask me, but I would really like you guys to try to explore and learn on your own as much as possible. Okay, I hope this is clear. And in your game, please make sure to add 2 to 3 sprites and 2 to 3 backdrops. Also, try to create a cover page, which means that you need to create, to come up with a name of your story. And yeah, that's it. And you need an ending, definitely. When you're done, you need to save your work, okay, to your computer. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you.